Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Stacking strategies for 2020. Let's explore. Yes, you may be watching this towards the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020, but this serves as sort of a reminder of setting goals, whether they be hard and fast or just a general approach. We're going to talk about planning and some aspects that people take in developing strategies for the next year ahead. You know, planning typically is done within calendar years or months or periods of time that are easily measured. And so it is good, in a sense, to set goals for yourself. And that's an area where I really do fall short from time to time. And, I set meager goals, but really don't hold hard and fast to any typical rule. And when that does happen and you overperform those goals, well, you're pleasantly surprised by the end of the year. In other aspects, if you do fall short, there's not that much pressure put on you. And in terms of accumulating precious metals, the best approach to take is an agile approach. You don't want to box yourself in too much when you're stacking, because the thing is that every ounce or every tenth of an ounce that you may acquire with precious metals is a step in the right direction. You are making progress no matter how small you go. It really is all dependent on your income, your disposable income, and what other things may come along the way. There's things that can offset your planning, and when that occurs, then you have to reapproach the situation, is to redefine your goals by the end of the year based off of several different factors. The first factor is completely out of our control, and that is emergency situations. There's times where, you are doing well enough, your income has gone up, you may have gotten a raise at work, and your disposable income is increased, but then something comes along. You have to get a new water pump, on your vehicle. You've got an unexpected housing expense. Perhaps maybe you need to get a new furnace. Maybe something happened with an accident of some sort. Maybe unexpected medical expenses that can come into play that will upset your disposable income. And it's during those times when you can't stack really at all for quite a while until those things are taken care of and paid off. It's also a good motivator for having a savings account of cash on hand ready to go in case situations like this arise, so that you are not buffered out of stacking completely, or you can get back to stacking quicker than possible. And that's just it. As we examine that uncontrollable circumstance, you have to go back and think about stacking 1 ounce at a time, 1/10 of an ounce at a time. It's a matter of accumulating these precious metals, knowing that they are going to be a safe haven in times of economic hardship. The next factor involved that is out of your control is spot price. As of the recording of this video, gold and silver have both taken a pretty big sweep upwards and are rising. Typically, this time of year, they don't do that. So it's kind of in some ways, a pleasant surprise, meaning that these metals that you see before you are worth a lot more in dollars sense than they were before. But if you want to continue to accumulate, that means you can buy less of them in the coming year. And it's going to hurt your dollar cost averaging as you continue to purchase. But I encourage those of you to continue to stack even when the prices go up, but moderate it and stay within your budget. So those are the uncontrollable factors. The controllable factors that come into play are, and these are something to consider when setting goals for the coming year. Think about things like vacation. Think about going to the movies. Do you want to see the last Star Wars movie that is out? Well, that's going to cost you probably an ounce of silver, if not more, especially if you want to see it in 3D. But it may be worth seeing. There are things going out to eat from time to time. We talk a lot about on this channel and other channels about being frugal with your expenses. And you want to make sure that you are doing what you can to accumulate these metals and cutting back on extra expenditures. But I'm here to tell you that it is okay from time to time to enjoy yourself, to take that time out with family and friends and have a little fun and treat yourself to things that you normally wouldn't buy or you've been really good about not buying in the past year. It's okay once in a while to give in a little bit to those from time to time. And because gold and silver are at least available enough right now that there's no problem buying either metal. But obviously, you each to each their own and in moderation for all of that stuff, because in a general sense, gold and silver are a savings account, and it's a way to supplement actual savings of cash in the bank. And it's an enjoyable hobby as well, as you can see by the examples here before you. We're going to talk about that and my personal strategy as well moving forward here. So those are the things to keep in mind. Be agile in your approach to stacking for the coming year, but accumulate. I would think that would be the one message that I would send along as you do set your goals. Some people create spreadsheets and count out the ounces that they do accumulate through the year. Others just set it aside in a storage where it can be easily inventoried and put away. Others, they have other approaches. But typically, they may do a budget and figure out the percentage of money they have left over and just spend that money on precious metals. But some may decide to catalog and set their goals and count it up towards the end of the year in terms of ounces. That's not my approach. My approach has always been to accumulate as I can and when I can. And I accumulate as a collector primarily, so that I will purchase pieces like this to keep my collections up, or to accumulate special designs and that are out there and available to continue to accumulate as I desire. Now, the one aspect with that is that you're typically paying a premium when you do it in that regard, and that premium is the cost of being a collector. And but there's nothing wrong with it, because you understand and the joy that is involved in collecting. And if you're a completist like me, and there's others in the community that are the same way, you are just about getting the collection, really no matter the cost to a degree, obviously. There's some collections where, a particular mint or a company may throw out other sizes or designs that make it cost prohibitive, not only because of that, but also the limited mintage and the availability. And we also saw that with the enhanced reversed proof 2019 American Silver Eagle that was very difficult to get. And so there are certain situations where collecting can be very stressful, but stacking can too. I try not to put too much stress on myself in terms of accumulating precious metals, but for 2020, I am going to expand a bit. I am going to actually try to stack a little more and create a new Tubular Journeys series. I'll kind of leave it as a surprise for now, but I'm going to try to accumulate, if I can, some more silver in tubes. And so we might try some different tubes or what have you, but we'll see how it goes. But I believe that from what I've been reading lately, and by the way, this does not necessarily mean it's going to happen this way, but I do think there is some more potential for silver to increase in price in 2020. And because of that, I am going to try to accumulate a bit more of it if I can. And then, as well as accumulating just regular pieces that I see from time to time, either at the local coin shop or what have you, that's a pretty good deal for the 1 ounce size variety there. The other thing that's been a common staple for me And I don't necessarily post all my acquisitions for the constitutional spending silver, U.S. constitutional silver, as often as I probably should. But I do accumulate these from time to time. I find some pretty good deals at the LCS, and it's a way to accumulate silver for not a lot of money in less than an ounce, and I'm very recognized for them. I've always kind of been stacking that stuff, although not by the tube, but a $0.50 here, 2 quarters there, maybe 5 or 6 dimes there, just from time to time. So that is going to be, I believe, I'm going to probably try to increase my silver holdings as a matter of stacking for 2020. The other thing I'm going to continue to do is accumulate gold. Although I may not get as much this year as I did last year, I'm going to try to continue to do that, both in pre-33 if I can, in regular stacking gold, maybe another eagle if possible. It'll be the last year of this design on the reverse for the eagle. And then I'm going to also try, if I can, to accumulate some fractional gold and some other collectible gold for my collections. So there you have it. That's going to be my strategy. Diversification is the key, as well as platinum. I think I'm going to do that. I think platinum is undervalued as well. I'm going to try to get more of that too. So that's kind of the summation of my strategy. It's kind of a loose-ended strategy, but it's going to be a bit more diversified with a concentration, I believe, on adding a little bit more silver than usual. But otherwise, diversification will be the key as I try to accumulate more platinum, gold, and of course silver. So there you have it. Post your thoughts below. What is your strategy for 2020? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.